back to my YouTube channel. I am Emaree. Today's video is a well-requested video, and it's about how I moved out at the age of 20 with only $1,000+ in my bank account. Period. But if you do not know, before we even get into the video, the reason why I'm making this because I went viral on TikTok. I'm gonna put my TikTok name right here. I went viral on TikTok stitching a video about how I moved out and what do you need. You can go to my TikTok and watch the videos for more information. So this video, disclaimer before I even start talking. This is what worked for me. This is how I got my apartment. What works for me may not work for you. I live in the most affordable city, so but the tips that I give you can use to also, it applies to you, and you just shift it and put it where it fits in with your situation, because everybody's financial situation is different. Everybody's everybody's different. Everybody's not the same. What works for me may or may not work for you. I'm not here to say, oh, do it my way or don't do it at all. No, I'm not here to say that. I'm just gonna give you guys a little backstory on me and why I moved out and how I did it before I jump into the Q&A. So like I stated, I moved out at the age of 20, and it was a couple of months after the lockdown we had. So my lockdown started, well, everybody's lockdown. Lockdown started mid-March and lasted until like May. And I started back working in May, and I was working at the daycare, and I moved out of my mom's house on August 30th. I was in the car and I was asking her, like, what do you put on to the application? Like, can you help me fill out the application? And my mom was so supportive. Like, I thought she was gonna be like,
girl, what you mean you wanna move out? What you wanna move out for? What you moving out for?
But no, my mom was very supportive. I feel like I manifested this apartment because the very first apartment that I had applied for, it was like, you're not 21, you need a co-signer. And I'm like, well, if I can't get it, then I just can't get it. I'm not gonna get a co-signer and have that on somebody else's credit. I just was not feeling it. So I remember I had wrote down, like, I'm gonna get an apartment. This apartment is mine. Remind y'all, I'm at work filling out apartment application. I did my application on apartments.com, and I'm gonna tell you about apartments.com. Apartments.com is a scam. It's not a scam, but they be tweaking their little reviews on there, because I remember I had applied for this apartment and they was like 4 stars, like, yes, you get in here. And I remember I told somebody, like, yeah, I'm moving out soon. They was asking, like, oh, you got an apartment, where you moving to? And I told the name, and they like, sheesh, girl, be safe. And I'm like, what you mean be safe? Like, this 4 stars, like, this is top notch, it's the real deal. And I looked on Google, that apartment had 1 star, y'all. Barely 1. Reviews were horrible. So what I did was I went to apartments.com, and that's how I found the apartment that I'm in now, and I put that apartment in Google search bar and actually looked at the reviews on that way, and I applied for the apartment on the actual apartment website. I know a lot of people comment and was like, apartments.com is not working for them. So apartments.com, you send an inquiry and moving into that apartment, but it's not an application for it, so you have to go to the actual apartment website, which is way more legit. You can't do it through apartments.com. But I knew how much I made and I knew how much I was bringing in, so that's what I really based off what I want to put my budget on. As apartments.com, they ask like how much the max and the minimum of how much you want to pay for your apartment, and that's how I found the apartment. I know a lot of people ask me what apartment I live in. I'm not disclosing that. So I had like $1,000+ saved up. During the lockdown, I didn't get any stimulus checks, unemployment, so it's based on what I already had from working. And then once I started back working in May, and it all just came together. And plus I had a lot of help from my mom. So once I got my once I applied for my apartment, they emailed me in a matter of like about an hour or two. Was like, sus, sign these documents then. If you this what you want, sign these documents. Show her that this is really what you want. And I'm looking like, wait, this happened too fast. So I go to my room, and I'm like, Mom, I just got accepted. I just got approved. We went over the lease and everything. I signed and I put my security deposit down, and yeah. So right after that, my mom took me to Target. She bougie, y'all. She took me to Target. Don't go to Target. If you're trying to save money when you're doing your apartment shopping, don't go to Target. We spent over $100 a piece on just kitchen and bathroom stuff, but I got all my stuff. But yeah, I went to Target and I got everything for the kitchen and I got everything for the bathroom, and plus the stuff for my mom's house, for my bedroom, and my auntie actually gave me a lot of kitchen items as well. And like I stated when I said start out buying your items slow and go up, so I said I moved here in August. I had my housewarming in September, and I was like, I remember my cousin like, bring your housewarming. I'm like, I want to get my apartment together first before I even think of a housewarming. She was like, no, use your housewarming as a way to get things that you don't want to buy. And it helps you, okay, well, since I got all this in the house for me, and now I know what I need to buy. So now that y'all see how I got my apartment, what I did, like I stated, I got the kitchen and bathroom stuff way before I even moved into the apartment. And the day I moved into the apartment, I had to pay first month's rent, and that's when I got my key. And after that, I was cool. I didn't have to buy anything but food until, you know, yeah. All I had to buy was food, and then that's when, so yeah, we in the apartment, we got everything decorated, everything set up, I'm straight. It's like once you get in there, you know, like it gets easier. So I know a lot of people was commenting on my video like,
girl, how you move out with $1,000? Like, why would you move out when I had at least a year worth of rent saved up? I'm not moving out, so I got $10,000 in my bank account.
first of all, in the city I live in, you don't need it. Like, I understand the whole save up a year worth of rent, but me personally, I didn't do that. Like, I saved up enough to pay the first month when I move in, and then I know that next month I'm going to have a check to pay my rent. Like, that's just what I knew, and I had everything that I needed already. So if you can save up a year worth of rent, save up a year worth of rent. If you can't, save up what you can. Save up enough money to where you know you feel comfortable moving into your apartment. Don't pressure yourself. Oh, I can't move out till I got $10,000. Like, come on now. Some people can do it, but some people can't. I could have, I just didn't want to. So it's middle of a COVID pandemic. We in a whole pandemic, and I just didn't want to have to sit there and wait till I had 10K in my bank account, because then I'm gonna be thinking about something else. I did like a had everybody comment some questions or any topics that they wanted me to touch on this video. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my phone. The first one was, if your utilities are separate, how much do you pay for water, electricity, and gas? So I know my apartment, my utility bills are not included except for water, and I recommend finding an apartment where your utility bills are included into your rent. I'm jealous. If your utility bills are included into your rent, I'm jealous of you. Like, I'm jealous because all this paying separate, it just ghetto. But I do budget billing with my gas company, and it's like you pay that set price each month. So I don't use a lot of lights. I cut lights off. If you know me, I cut lights off. And my bills, my gas bill and my light bill have not, even my water bill have not been over $30. The highest it'll go is like 40, but my light bill be like 20. No, my gas bill be like $25. My light bill be like 30, and the water bill be like $30. So yeah, but I know that the utility companies have budget billing, but it all depends on how much that you use. So if you do, make sure you see if you can enroll in budget billing. It will save your life. The next question that I got was, do you need credit? So the apartment I stay in is an income-based apartment, so it'll go based off how much you make to see how much you can afford. If you can't afford 2 times the rent, then you're just not going to get in. Now, as far as credit, my apartment does a thing where it has a credit building program. So like when you pay your rent on time, it goes to your credit. It helps build your credit. Plus, I have a credit card, but my credit did not play no role in trying to get an apartment. What do you all need to get your own apartment? So basically, all I did was fill out the application, and you're gonna have to show proof of like employment. And those some apartments, I remember one apartment that I applied to, they did ask for like pay stubs and everything to see how much I made to see if you can make the rent. But that's about it. Make sure you get a good pay stub and it actually shows that you're actually making a lot of money. How much do you think one should be making hourly to be able to afford moving out? So this play a part that everybody comments saying,
I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. Just so ghetto. Like, I just want to save up a whole bunch of money so I don't gotta live paycheck to paycheck.
save it, girl. But I know one thing about me, I know that how much I spend on even trying to exist in a month, and I put that use that to say, okay, well, I need a job where I'm making this amount of money so I can bring in double, so I know I can pay my bills and still be able to do what I do. That's how you do it. Don't find a job where you're making less than how much you pay a month, and then that's when you live in paycheck to paycheck. But I don't need to save up a whole bunch of money to afford my bills. I have a job where it's like I'm bringing in double than what I even got to spend for the month to exist. So yeah, that's how I look at it. If I feel like if I'm paying $1,000 worth of bills, I need a job where I'm bringing in at least that much money. Like, I don't know no other way to put it. Find a job, or if you have a job, find an apartment based on your budget, like based on how much you can afford, how much you know that you're bringing in a month, and go from there. It'll make it so much easier. So how do you budget rent with your paycheck? So like I stated, I found a job where I know that it's gonna bring in that much money that I pay a month for bills like rent, utilities, other expenses, groceries, and all that, and it really helps with how much you're bringing in. If that's how much you're making a job, you don't have to worry about it. But if you are budgeting, I made a budget. I got like a budget list in my phone where I do like I list out each bill and how much I have to pay all together. That's how I got my price all together, and I know that, okay, if I pay this bill out this paycheck, I don't got paid out the next paycheck, and so forth and so forth. And that's how I could show you guys the budget that I have, just to give you guys an idea. I've been paying bills since I lived with my mother, and it taught me how to, it's very much a money management thing. So like, I don't know if you can see it, you probably cannot see it, you cannot see it, but as you can see, like, I put out my bills like that, and then that's how I budget how much I have to spend out of each paycheck. And then once I paid out of that paycheck, I put a check by it, so I know when I get paid again, I don't have to pay it, and then that's how I budget out my money. So if you looking at creditor-based apartments and your credit's not to par, try looking at more income-based apartments. It will help you so much. But like I stated, and everybody was coming for me, I recommend saving up something, but I don't recommend thinking you have to save up a whole bunch of money to move out. Basically, I know every city, every state is different, so however much rent is, just save up enough money to where you feel comfortable. But if you can move out with, I moved out with $1,000+. It's possible. It's all about how you manage your money and if you get help or not. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I hit every point. If you have any more questions, comments, or comment down below some other videos that you would like to see, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.